what's going on? Next day, late night last night. Got the timing numbers for this ms260 cylinder, and what were they here? Exhaust was 99, intake 68, transfers 123 with a blowdown at 24, and every two degrees of timing works out to be 20 thou, which is nice. It's a nice round number to work with. So got the lines all drawn up to kind of give me an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be reworking those lower transfers, clean up the intake, widen it out a little bit, just a smidge, reshape it. Let's see if this shows up here. Let's see. Then the exhaust, I'm going to widen it up, but I'm not going to change the exhaust groove on it. Not yet. I want to test it. Do this first, test, see how it goes, and whatnot. I also got the squish band. I think I mentioned that last night. Got the squish band cut, so I'm sitting at with no base gasket at, what was it, 17 thou. So with motor seal, put me around 19 to 20. Should be more than enough room, because on my saw I'm running 17 with motor seal. So, and kind of, I always get worried because it is on the tighter side. So hopefully this will work out better than how mine's set up. But I can always at a later date I can always clean up that cylinder and give me a little more squish if I need. So anyways, I'm gonna get grinding on this. Touch back in a minute. Also, check out Tazman. Does live feeds pretty often. Depends on the work schedule, but that's who that fella is, and that's who the cylinder's for too. So anyways, get back in a minute. Have a good day, I suppose. Depends. I'm gonna edit that out probably, but yeah, like I said, check out Mr. Tazman. Good fella. So I just did the lowers. They're only roughed in. It's only roughed in for now. I'll have to finish those up after that. Then I don't know if it matters much, but I started measuring my like the volume too, because I don't touch my uppers. I've been measuring the volume, trying to, you try to look at it, you try to match them as best as possible. I also try to do the volume, and all I use is a syringe with water in it, and I try to match them as best as possible. It's kind of hard because you got two big openings to contend with, but now I'm just going to rough up the intake and then work a little bit on the exhaust, and we'll go from there. So it's only roughed in right now. Exhaust roughed in, intake roughed in. Took the little lip. Let's see if it shows. Probably won't show on this side. Little lip off the intake floor to make it a little smoother. It'll probably add about a degree of timing. Wind out just a hair the intake. Same thing with the exhaust. I only went up to those two marker lines, like just to a touch of it. That's it. Kind of bell-shaped-ish the exhaust a little bit to open it up. I got it two test fit the muffler. I'm going to test it with the ported muffler I have for my 026 now and see how it does. Not sure, it might be open too much. It might love it. I'm going to take another muffler and open about half as much as what I have the other one open and do a test of that, and do a test of the one that's pretty open. The other muffler I have, this whole rectangular piece I cut out. I left actually the screw hole in there just in case if I do have to put a spark arrestor in. So I'm going to take one of these and basically open that up another about 50% roughly, that hole. So I'll come a little bit on this side, a little bit on the other side, cut it out, test it out, and like I said, that'll be about half, basically half of this is about 50% of what I opened up on another one. I'm just curious how it's going to perform. The other one's loud, but I ported the saw, opened up the muffler, and put it all together. So this is going to tell me something how this is going to actually work out. So I'm going to try that and compare them once I get this back together. But I'm going to finish this up, get it cleaned up a bit better here, and measure the volume of the transfers. Like I said, I don't know if it actually matters because it's a lot to do with flow, but the way I have it thought in my mind is if you got one that is like an X number of cc's or mLs smaller or less volume, the other side has more, the other one should technically be the path of least resistance. So I don't know, I'm going to use some water and measure them out and just see. I've done it on a couple saws now, and I won't say I've noticed anything different about them, but it doesn't mean it doesn't help, but it doesn't mean it does help either. So just sense of mind. Anyways, check back a bit. Alright, so since everything, boy, that is so shaded. Oh, you know why? It's because of my phone. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Got a light on the behind the phone, and anyways, oh, a little bit. I just came in from outside. So we got everything roughed in. So now I'm going to sand it, clean it up, wash it till it's spotless. Always wash. Oh, dang it, dang it. So always wash your cylinders and scrub them good when you're done. Blow them out first, scrub them good. Soapy water, brake clean, then soapy, well, whatever. But you want to get all the little fine particles and your oil residue. You want to get it out. You just want to make sure it's spotless. This cylinder, I still got to clean the fins up as well. I'm pretty sure I got a brush I can get it in there. Anyways, so let's see what we can do with this. I'm gonna get her, like I say, I'm gonna clean up and we'll check how that turns out. Check back. Right, so I chamfered all the ports. I just ran the brake hone through really quick and really light just to break the surface a bit. So we're gonna get this mounted. Or actually, we're gonna get this washed first, mounted, and then see, I might be able to do some heat cycles tonight, but I want to do a couple heat cycles first before I even bar it up and run it. So it's looking not too shabby. Glaze is all busted, which is the main thing. That's what we're after. So anyways, let me get this cleaned up and mounted. Be back in a bit. Right. Now, it's not the straightest cut, but it's kind of hard to get in there. So that was a 1.6 something inches wide. I went to 0.8 or 50%. This has been opened up too. It's matched. I'm sure it's going to do that. So I am hoping we are at least going to run the first tank of fuel through it tonight, while at least some of the fuel start doing the heat cycles. It's dark out. It's I don't even know what time it is now. What time is it? 5:45. So here around here now in Manitoba, it's 4:30-ish. It's getting pretty dark. Good watch. If nobody's seen or heard of this dude here, Brent, his YouTube's called Ghost Town Living. It's an old mining old mining town that he bought called Cerro Gordo. A lot of wicked history. He's got a really, really good like video series going on. Yeah, but check it out if you like history and stuff like that, especially like old things like mining things. So I'm not going to record the assembly process. I'm just going to put it together, and because like when I was mucking around with it last night a bit there, the rings were giving me an issue. So I mean, it took me like 20 minutes to put a cylinder on, which only took me like not even 5. So I'm going to skip all that, and we'll get back on it once the cylinder's mounted. Be right back. Alright, it's all washed out. Scrubbed it really good. Man, you wouldn't even recognize this cylinder. Like, this is basically what it looked like when I first brought it back. Like, these were pretty much identical looking. Dude, cleaned up super good. I put in like 1 or 2 ounces of heavy duty simple green, I believe it is. It's in the purple label with what would that be, about 2 liters roughly of hot water. That would be what, like 1 and change gallons for everybody on the Imperial. But yeah, it cleaned up pretty good all in all. I like it. But now the next step is, where did I get? Give me a sec. I gotta find the exhaust gasket. Right. So, like I was talking earlier, I already have one muffler. Like I was saying, that this area is open. That rectangle section is open to the base. So I want to take this and do 50% of what that is. I'm curious, because there is a mathematical equation based off of like how wide your exhaust port is, da 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 da. So quite technically, I don't even have to measure it. This wide open is probably 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch actually wider than the exhaust port, which is over the 70-80% rule. So I'm going to do this at 50%. We're going to try it. I got to heat cycle this saw yet, so I mean, I'm not going to be able to get, and until the ring seat, I'm not going to be able to get full potential out of the difference. But I'm kind of curious how it's going to react. So I already know this is a smidge smaller than the exhaust port, but that is quite a bit smaller than the exhaust port and this. So give me a few minutes here. I'm not going to bore you guys with grinding and everything else with the video, so I will try to do a time lapse. I got my GoPro up above me here. That's what I've been using to try to do the overhead shots, at least for the time lapses. I don't know how to do it on my cell phone. Haven't found an option for it. So we're going to do a time lapse. We'll be back. Be a few seconds, but we'll be right back. one in one. See how many pulls it takes for this new top end to fire up. Choke is on. Not bad, not bad. Let's check the restart. On. Clutch bearing back on yet. I just wanted to make sure it fires up. I'm just going to heat cycle it and then go back inside, let it cool, have supper, heat cycle it again. All response is boom, 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 and it's on it like right now. So that's good. I got to see how it cuts though after. I'll probably do a full tank of heat cycles on and off, and we'll see how this thing cuts. I might be taking it apart again, change some numbers around, but it's snappy. Holy hell. Idle's great. I was just outside for what, 8-10 minutes, just letting it idle. And anyways, we'll check back on the next one as we go through this thing again.